When I was in the Philippines in 1980, we were doing a Bible basketball program, and it was either 80 or 81 that I met Tom. We became friends, and actually, as our friendship developed up until 2013, at the end of the year, I considered him my best friend. And we had worked together over the years on many projects. And one of the things we worked together with, particularly at the beginning, particularly with consulting and any support we could give from my own company. My company is called Recreation Harvest, Inc. And it was actually formed with Tom on the board. Tom was actually chairman of the board up until the end of 2013. And as I said, because of that, we also knew of some of his other endeavors. And we knew that he had a contact with in Lucena. They were trying to do children's ministry. They had tried to work with a municipal orphanage and had limited success. They were wanting their own property. And at about that time, Tom got a contact with Jim Sankey from, at the time he was here in Hudson, Ohio. And he had a burden to fund to start children's homes. So that's why the Sankey Samaritan got started. Was named Sankey Samaritan. Jim had given a big donation to get it started. And at the time of the start, were the directors. And Ruth at that time was put on the board. And I was always consulting, talking with Tom and giving him an assistance in many different ways. Although I wasn't on the board, I was kind of like a right-hand man for whatever he was doing. And so even though eventually, for various reasons, Ruth was no longer on the board, and it became a board that we did not feel was a very well-structured board. It was not our main ministry. We were very busy with our conference centers. We're willing to help. But basically, we let Tom arrange things the way he went, and we helped him with arranging things the way he wanted. And when this incident came up of the reporting of the abuse, it was my assumption that just as we'd handled other problems in the past together, that this was another administrative problem that Tom and I could handle and get past. But then when it became obvious that Tom did not want me involved, and he did not want me to make an issue of the case, and he was assuring me nothing to worry about, everything's under control, I had the information from the victims. I had letters given to me. Basically, they were snuck out of the children's home to get to me, and I reported them immediately to Tom, and he basically was acting as though there was no issue. Eventually, I kept trying to help him, kept trying to make him aware. Eventually, he met with the teacher who first gave the reports to my daughter. And when that happened, he just was not going to act. And when I saw he wasn't going to act, I was reluctant to continue. And he asked to meet with me on a day when I was sick. And I said, I can't come today, I can come next week. He says, will you? Well, could I communicate with you by email? I said, sure. And that, I think, was on a Saturday. And on the Monday, he sent me an email resigning from my board and not wanting any more association with me. And so we went in end of October, we got the first reports. And then by December, early December, you basically have a situation where, to my surprise, the one I considered my best friend refused to take any serious investigation into hand on this matter. And not only that, he cut off all connection with me. And when the NBI did the raid on the thing, and Tom was arrested along with the director, Toto, and his son, everything got turned back on me as though I had somehow been this villain, vindictive person, just waiting for an opportunity to destroy him. And yet I had been his friend for so many years. I could not believe that in our past history that he was not going to do the right thing in this. It was not the one Tom that I thought I knew. For so many years, we were on the same page in handling problems, always straightforward, always doing right. And then in this case, he just would not do the right thing, was intent on making it go away. And then, after being intent on going away, going to blame me for it all. I must say it was a shock to the system.